Here I am again, your faithful host. Um, Today, what we're going to be looking at is actually creating different shapes, but I'm actually going to be showing you a different trick of the user interface. The other one is that you can hold down the space bar anywhere in this plane as it's supposed to come up, and it's supposed to show you all the different layouts like create, display, windows, assets, etc., etc., etc. For right now, since I have the video capture going on, it's not going to show. But if you hold on the spacebar, you can see create, display, window, assets, lighting, and so like that stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to create. I'm actually just going to create, make sure that interactive creation is turned off because what that does is that it would actually, I'll just show you for purpose sake here. Um, I'm just going to create a cube. See, it says drag the base of the grid on the pole for the height. So we're going to just drag it along and like this. It's not really my favorite. So what I'm actually just going to do is just do this. Control Z to get rid of it. And I'm actually going to turn that off. 'Cause it's really annoying when you're trying to get in like some really extensive group core. So if you just turn that off, it gives you a perfect shape cube, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit 5. 5 pretty much makes a shader, and I'm gonna hit F. F means to focus, okay? So when I do 5 for shader and F for focus, it brings it, as you saw, it zooms in towards the cube like that. So now if you hit Alt and you hit left click on the mouse, you can rotate, okay? If you hold down Alt and right click, hold, you can actually zoom in and out. This is what's tricky. The scroll ball on your mouse, okay? If you hold down Alt and the scroll ball, you can actually go from left to right, up, down, etc., whatever. That's the move. That's kind of like the generic move tool if you want to get around somewhere fast. But mainly you should be using rotate or zooming out, okay? So now that you know the mouse and keyboard hotkeys a little bit, I'm going to go through each more. W means to move. You're going to get 3 sets of arrows. You're going to have the Z, the X, and the Y. Okay, that's what is the three-dimensional stages of the Maya programming. The fourth one is time. That's why you have a timeline down here. Okay, so basically Maya is a 4D instead of a 3D because you have the X and Y values, and you get the Z depth, which is the Z factor, and you got the fourth one, which is time. Now, um, so now we got move, rotate, same exact thing. You got your all around axis here. We have the X, Y, and Z. And then you got your scale, which is R. So move is W, rotate is E, scale is R. You do this one, it's going to go left and right, and you're going to go this one to make it wider. So this is longer, wider, okay? And then this one is just going straight up, okay? So yet again, W is move, E is rotate, R is for scale. Okay, so now we got those. Let's say if you want to create a light. Okay, if you want to create a light, I'm just going to do a spotlight for right now. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move it up towards my shape, and I have a light. Okay, this is the basic spotlight. So another hotkey for a light for translucent. So if I was to hit the T key, which is to free transform lights or cameras, okay? This right here allows me to see where the light's actually going to be pointed at. So what I want to do is I want to grab this point and bring it down, okay? So this allows me to shine the light down on the cube or object that I have or placement setting that I actually have over here, all right? So now with the light selected, I now brought up my attribute editor. And this is where, if in the future, I'm going to be creating more tutorials where I'll show you guys how to know more about the attribute editor and what this details of what this shows. Same thing with the channel box. Channel box shows you all your different connections to what your shape or your light or everything that's inside here. Now, when you're creating a character like animating or rigging, this is exactly where you're going to be living most of your life besides the graph editor, which is right down here. Like I said, I'm not going to go into too much detail because this is more time to know. If you're going to hit the spacebar once, you would notice that I actually went to the last view that I went to. Sometimes it comes to this view where you have top, side, and like a lock front view. Majority, if you click on any of these, it would actually go into here. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So now as you see, I actually now have my spacebar menu down. It's now working. So you can see you have file, edit, modify, same thing as what you see up here. View shader, same exact thing. And I'm going to go into each of the different techniques of here. Over here you have animation, polygon, surfaces, dynamics, rendering, and dynamics and customize. This is where your special effects in Maya are going to come from. The animation is basically like all your animation, like skinning, concentrating, and like bone creating. Polygons is everything you need to know about extruding, adding extra lines, etc. All the tools in there. Surfaces, exactly like texturing, texturing the surfaces, or creating lofting objects to make them look like they're real. Dynamics, that's where all your special like ice, fire, uh, wind, smoke. Rendering is pretty much where all the rendering setting like lighting, texture, everything's dynamically set. But yet again, this tab is actually right here in this tab. In dynamics is like water, hair, and stuff like that. It's like a different form of texturing. One could be used for movie, one could be used for gaming. All depends on which one you want to use. You have to decide that yourself. Whatever works best. Um, Yet again, this is pretty much what it is. These are all tool selection. So if this is like joints, curves, face, surface objects, so it's like this cube, lighting, texturing, everything. So if you shut these off, you will not be able to select anything here. So if you have to have everything selected, if you want to select everything in the field, but if you only want to select a certain object and not mess with something else, you just have to click one of these things off that pertains to that object, and therefore you have it all set. All right, that concludes my next video, so I hope you guys enjoy.